The Vögele 2100-3 can lay up to 1100 tonnes of material per hour, and it can lay to a width of up to 13 metres. This model from NZG comes in a relatively large box, and that's because the model is fully configured to its maximum screed length. There's a little bit of information about the real machine on the box, but the good news is that inside there's a fully reprinted brochure. And this is a very nice inclusion because it's chock full of information about the real machine. There's plenty of good photos and it's not too technical either. In a way, this is just the kind of information it would be nice to have with every model. And in this regard, the Vögele group and Vögele set a high standard. So let's move on to the box and the model, and it's helpfully marked top and bottom so you know which way up it is. And taking the lid off, you can see that the model is protected with some soft paper. In addition to the model, there is a small bag, and that contains some spare track links, which is a thoughtful inclusion. Unusually for NZG, the model is secured to the base by a tie, but at least it's not been done up super tight by some Superman in the factory. It's time for a viewer question, and this one comes from Windows 8 of Seattle in the US. Win's question is, can Paver models be used to spread peanut butter onto bread? The answer is probably yes, but it would be very difficult to scoop the peanut butter out of the jar. Back to the model, and once it's out of the box there are a couple of pieces of packaging to remove. There's some expanded polystyrene from inside, and there's an elastic band around the body. Looking underneath, the auger screw is visible, as are the metal track pads. And interestingly, there are two model numbers, 858 and 859, so maybe a model 858 will also appear from NZG. NZG did previously produce the 2100-2 version of this machine, and one of the differences on this model is that it has nice metal tracks, together with deflector plates at the front. The material conveyor is metal, and the hopper sides have nice sharp graphics. Inside the operator's area there's a superbly detailed operator's console. There's a nicely detailed floor, and all of the handrails are metal. Out at each end of the screed is another very detailed control pad. The canopy is a mix of metal and plastic parts, and the only thing missing is the PaveDock traffic signal system. Another enhancement on this model compared to previous NZG Pavers is the detailed engine, which is visible through various opening doors. It's a big Paver model, and running the tape over it, it's 10.5 inches or 27 centimetres wide. The model features a canopy which can be lowered for transport, although of course with the big fixed screed it's too wide to go on a low loader. Trying to pave on the smooth test track, the tracks are too stiff to roll, and that's because they are quite intricate little parts, but you can roll them by hand. Although they're small parts and they really are a bit stiff. However, maybe if they were rolled plenty of times they might free up a bit. Anyway, let's plonk the Paver down on a rougher surface and give it a go, and even with a bit of grip the tracks are still too stiff. However, the model does have plenty of other features. There's an oscillating bar for where the tipper truck engages, and the hopper sides have got a nice interlocking mechanism so they fold up well. The screed is big and heavy, but the cylinders that hold it are stiff enough to be able to hold it in an up or down position, and the extensions at the end slide out and in easily. Another enhancement on this model compared to earlier versions is the opening doors. On this side the door is a solid panel and lets you see the engine inside, and the hinges are discreet and work well. Let's now quickly pretend to run round the other side of the model. And here the door is a bit different because it's got real open slats. So this must be the engine cooling end of things. 2 opening panels is very good, but 3 is even better, and this one has a third. And that's the main cover on the engine. It opens widely so you can see the engine components, and the hinges are stiff enough to be able to pose the cover open. There are more working features in the operator's area. Each seat swings open so the operator can get a better view looking forward. And there's also a neat feature which is the operator's console, which rotates to square up to the chair. Of course, if you are sitting in a seat in an extended position you don't want to get wet, and so there's an extending canopy to keep you dry. It can be a problem being right all the time, but if you don't like that you can slide the console over and put yourself on the left. Of course, one thing you would have to watch out for if you were on the operator's platform is that giant fat finger that comes in and tries to knock you over. If you are able to avoid that, then it's on with the genuine imitation real life test. And here we can hook up a suitable tipper to the Paver and then watch as the steaming hot black stuff gets laid down. NZG has produced a very nice Paver model with some good enhancements compared to previous models. The detailing is really nice and the metal tracks and opening doors really add something. If you want a really nice Paver model, then this Vögele is outstanding.